Hello baby queers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for some gatekeeping, which I've been wanting to do for a while, but I also really don't, because I know I'm gonna get really frustrated. So I hope you're ready for that. Either way, go grab a glass of water or some tea, get hydrated, and then we'll get started. School dress code update. Oh, by the way, I hate school dress codes, but anyways. Students cannot wear clothing with the name of any musician or band unless the student can name at least 3 of their songs. The 8th grader who said, "I thought Nirvana was a clothing brand," last week has been suspended indefinitely. Okay, I know this is meant as a joke, but literally. Why? To be honest, I don't get wearing like a band t-shirt or something if you don't know the band. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense, because if I wear, like, a band's t-shirt, it's a way for me to say, hey, I really like this band, because then other people are gonna look at the shirt and be like, oh, hey, I like this same band, and I think that's cool, so I don't really understand why, but who cares? Like, how do you care so much? And honestly, I hate school dress codes, because a lot of it is just dumb. Like, basic rules, you know, like no profanities or something, fine. Right, but overall, come on. My outdoorsy isn't the same as your outdoorsy. If I had $1 for every guy that tells me he's outdoorsy but has never backcountry camped. Okay, you can do a lot of things outdoors, not just backcountry camping. If you just like gardening, you're technically still outdoorsy because you garden outside. Usually, you know, maybe if someone tells you they're outdoorsy, it's fine to check if they have like the same outdoorsy interests as you, but literally, who cares? How do you care this? I'm already frustrated. How do you care so much? Okay, this one is just dumb. 24 grand in debt is nothing. That's not debt. Sir, if you're $1 in debt, you're still in debt. What do you... Can we not make being in debt a competition? What are you doing? Oh my god. Idiot UK drivers exposed. Seems like a fun sight, actually. Firefighter smash into car to save dog from being cooked to death in a Waitrose car park after owner abandoned it for an hour, as temperatures soared to 33 degrees during Britain's heatwave. I'm from Southern California. That ain't shit. Okay, 33 degrees outside is one thing. But do you know how hot it gets in cars with closed windows if it's 33 degrees outside? That dog is definitely not going to survive if you leave it in there for too long. Don't do it. Don't leave your pets or children, or spouses, or anyone, really, in a car in this weather without the windows down. Or if the car's still on and has, like, AC on or something. But maybe just don't. You know, and also, really, you live in a place that's hotter. Great. Good for you. Being a dick to someone because they have a band shirt on, but can't name 3 songs of the band. No. Sharing my 3 favorite songs and making a fan for life. Yes, this is actually a good approach. This is a good approach. This is not gatekeeping. This is a, oh hey, you don't know this band? Hey, maybe you do want to listen to them. These are my favorite songs. Go check them out. Preferably, like, if it's a band that has like a lot of different genres or like a lot of different stuff, maybe like pick different songs, you know, not just like 3 that are very similar. But yeah, this is a way better approach. Okay, the second guy has clearly never programmed a line of code in their life. I'm not advocating for 60+ hour work weeks. Although in my eyes, sometimes the price of success is a slight or moderate sacrifice of your health. I burn out on making videos sometimes, but I space those periods out so it's not constant. That's how I provide content for people. People think this tweet means I'm advocating for burnout or current working conditions in game dev. No, what I'm saying is that burnout happens in every part of the entertainment industry. I'm not saying that's how it should be. I'm saying that's how it is. Another comment that apparently hasn't programmed a line of code in their life. Not just entertainment, every workforce. The rest of the world calls it overtime. Game devs are the whiniest, most entitled workforce on earth. Nobody else gets to sell incomplete products like they do and whine about having to work. You make a game, you're not in chain gang. Okay, again, this whole... it happens so often on the subreddit of, oh, I do more overtime than you, or my job is harder than yours. Great, good for you. Maybe... Why do people feel the need to make their suffering into a competition of like, oh, you're so whiny, you don't have a hard job. Literally, it is so difficult to compare different jobs because different jobs are hard in different ways. Like, sure, game development isn't going to be that hard on your body like having like a more physically demanding job. But still, if you have to work overtime that much in any job, or like a 6-hour work week, that's not going to be healthy in any job. What do you know what I'm trying to say? It makes no sense. Anyways, moving on. Honestly, when white women complain about patriarchy, I just roll my eyes as a man of color. Why? Because 50%, half of y'all, voted for Trump, who was directly responsible for overturning Roe v. Wade. White women literally vote for their own marginalization. White women decide that they would endure patriarchy in order to preserve white supremacy. I feel sorry for black women though. Over 98% of black women vote against these cycles, but because they don't have political power, it doesn't matter. Black women are the only ones truly fighting for women's right in solidarity. So we gatekeeping feminism now. Apparently. Yeah. Like, no one's gonna stand here and argue that white women still don't have it easier than women of color just because racism. But this seems like a really, really weird take. This is... Also, where do you get your statistic from? Because I think white feminists probably didn't vote for Trump. You know, at least most of them at least didn't. What? You know, anyways. Gatekeeping demographic categories below a Harlem Shake compilation. A Harlem Shake compilation? Of all places, this is where you're gonna... Okay. Dude, I miss this generation. I wish that still existed. I can't wait to show my kids what a real generation is. I love how I can't even tell which generation he's referring to. What are you... I am so confused. I mean, this whole, oh yeah, my generation is better than yours. Oh well. Streaming on Twitch is not considered work, even though the streamer paid 60% in taxes. All this work, laughing my ass off, all this work, come on, all that work. Lemo, you're a streamer, you exist for a living on a cam. Why am I doing all this work? Best joke I've heard in a while. Why do I do all this work? All these people do is sit down and talk to a bunch of people over the net, right? The fuck is so hard about that? All this work, get the fuck out of here. She talks and plays video games and gets paid handsomely for it. Despite her tax work, she's solid, but don't call this shit work. Working hard, Twitch streaming. Are you having a laugh? Are you really gonna sit here? You're obviously not a Twitch streamer. And sure, other jobs might be more demanding, but it's still work. Because she isn't just sitting there and streaming for 2 hours a day, or like 2 hours a few times a week, and that's all she does for work. You know, there's more to having any kind of like social media or streaming platform than just sitting there and talking. Anyways, why? I'm not gonna argue with people, honestly, it's just weird. Okay, this t-shirt, I just thought was funny, because real men love Glockenspiels. Because it seems like a joke, so it's just kind of funny. And also, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I thought it was funny. Kids versus men. Ah yes, the kids who own their own cars. Really? Who cares? Who cares what your favorite car is? This is really weird. This one, just either very ironic, or he's doesn't identify as a man, because a man without a beard is not a man. Well, that's not how this works. But still, it just seems ironic. If you have a beard, but you can't fell a log, butcher a deer, build a fire, sharpen a chainsaw, fire a gun, or drive a truck, it's time to shave. Again, this is really weird. Listen, if you enjoy doing those things, cool. You're aware that not everyone has to be the same, right? You know that there is different ways to be a man, right? Well, apparently you disagree, but this is weird. This is why the subreddit is so frustrating, because it makes no sense. You have so many people in the world. You have so many men in the world. You can't actually expect every man to be the same. Was that I don't think my grammar's working anymore. But anyways, you can't really expect everyone to be the same and have the same interests and be able to do the same things. That's just... it's so weird. It's not bad to like it, but if you only or mainly play games on easy mode, you're not a gamer. What is it with people and trying to be like, oh, you're not a real gamer if you don't, or if you do this? Like, if you play games, you're technically a gamer. If you enjoy playing games on easy, you're still a gamer. What are you talking about? Anyways. Okay, I don't know the first thing about football, by the way, but no look, backwards, and over the hat pass to win the game. Trick plays just keep evolving. That's not football. A touchdown is a touchdown, and what is a W? Is a W, but that's not football. Well, I don't know the first thing about football, again, but trick play is, as long as it's like legal according to game rules, it's still football. Also, is this like professional league football, and you're saying it's not football? Sure thing, buddy. If you can't name every player in this photo, you don't know basketball. Really? Really? Okay. I'm just not even gonna say anything anymore. We were smoking out of pop cans, plastic bottles with a big pen down stem and a socket as a bowl. And these kids dying off of vape pens. Soft. Okay, I use drugs differently than you, so I'm better because I didn't die? Is that what you're saying? This... Okay, this might win as the weirdest one. This is just weird. Now, someone posted this. Watching horror and comedy movies at the cinema is stupid AF. If you decide to go to the cinema, get dressed, spend your money, and you land on a comedy or a horror movie, you must be stupid or have a really bad taste in music, like if you love Adam Sandler movies. Those movies are not exciting, that I don't understand why you would spend your time and money in the cinema watching those movies. You should watch some real freaking movies like Top Gun, Tenet, Batman, Avatar, Avengers, Transformers, etc. Something that should be seen on the big screen. I don't understand these capitalizations. Something that is a great cinematic experience. Something very exciting. Mate, why do you care what people spend their money on? If you don't think it's worth it to watch horror movies or comedies in the cinema, then don't. Comedies, I might actually even agree. And I also really don't like Adam Sandler movies. So fine, whatever. Don't watch those movies in cinemas. I don't. Horror movies, I would actually watch. Actually seems really good to watch in a cinema if you have like a really big screen with the loudspeakers. That seems like a good idea. But if you don't want to watch those movies in a cinema because you don't think it's worth spending money on, then just don't do it. But why would you just be like, hey, I think you're stupid if you do? Do I care what you do with your money? No. Listen, it's your money. If you want to go to the cinema and watch whatever movie, then go watch it. That's what I don't get. How do you care so much what other people do that you make a post like this, or that you're like, oh, you're not a real man or woman, or you're dumb if you do this. Like, who gives a shit? Oh my god. Proof you have failed as a woman. C-section scar. What? You know that's not how this works, right? That, like, one of my older sisters just didn't turn around in the stomach, so she had to be born with a C-section. I have 3 siblings. Me and my other 2 siblings were, like, born the normal way, if you want to call it that. So, has my mother only failed a quarter at being a woman? By this logic. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. Anyways. Now, arguing about food might probably be the most frustrating thing to me, but hot dogs, at least if they're adults. You mean a condiment that most hot dog joints serve? Kids' menus aren't uncommon. Are you dumb? No, I'm an adult. That's why I don't put ketchup on hot dogs. Sir? Who cares? Who cares? Like, a lot of people don't like mustard. Are you just gonna stand there and be like, oh, if you don't put mustard on your hot dog, you're not an adult? Is that what you're saying? That's not how this works. If you don't like ketchup, then don't put it on your hot dog. Like, no one's forcing you to, but what? This entire subreddit. Okay, I'm afraid I'm not going to be making videos on the subreddit too often because I'm so frustrated. It makes no sense, and I feel like all I say to every post is, dude, get your head out of your ass. You make no sense. Anyways, moving on. Pop is a recent word. It was an American advertisement called Soda Pop. I think it was in the 1970s or something. Pop is American. Stop saying pop, Northern English people. You are not American. Gatekeeping language for sodas. Go off, I guess. Man, look at that view. 90s babies only. To be fair, I never had one of these carpets when I was a kid. And technically I'm a 90s baby. But my friends had them. Anyways, this generation won't understand. They still exist, you know. My kids, 3 and 5 years old, have one. Yeah, exactly. Why would you think they don't exist anymore? I don't know when the first one of these was, like, released or, like, sold for the first time, but why would you assume they don't exist anymore? Anyways, well, I'm American, and here in the States, miss, we say voila. Voila is an instrument, miss, know everything and don't know shit. Favorite type of person. I've got time. Literally, voila is how you say it. What? This seems like such an American thing to be like, oh no, this is not how it's pronounced, even though that's literally how it's pronounced. Like, it's not even one of those words that is, like, put into English that you pronounce it English, even though it's not, like, originally an English word. Did that make sense? I hope you know what I mean. But anyways, what do you... Moving on, I'm frustrated. Enjoying a nice dinner. This is how a real man eats. Not your soy and avocado bull of these millennials and Gen Z punks are full of estrogen. If there is a draft when we go to war with China, I feel bad for this country. They wouldn't last a day in boot camp. Okay, first of all, I love bitter old white men. It's legit just hilarious how opinionated they are. But literally, sir, you're holding a cocktail with an orange in that. Wouldn't that be considered unmanly because it's not beer or like whiskey or like some hard alcohol like that? Wouldn't you be drinking beer or like hot liquor? What are you doing? Are you a real man? Are you sure? Anyways, addicted to beer, 3 to 6 per night. Psst, that's just pose level. Just wait till you're puking every morning through your crushing headache and drinking 6 for breakfast just to ease the nausea. A pint of the cheapest grain alcohol you can find for lunch, trying to remember what the point of being alive is as you stumble around your afternoon until you find another pint or 2 of booze. Then maybe wind down for the night with a dinner of another 2 pints of whiskey and a 12-pack, ready to crash and repeat 11 hours later. But yeah, being addicted to beer is totally cool. Good job. You know, I'm not sure I would call addiction of any kind cool. And also, gatekeeping addiction might be the dumbest thing I've heard all day. Congratulations on that. Congratulations. But really, we're gatekeeping. Oh, I'm more addicted to alcohol, so I'm better than you somehow? What? How to properly order steak at a restaurant. Blue, rare, medium, medium well. Well done. Order the chicken, you steak-hating monster. Again, gatekeeping food probably isn't the dumbest thing because, yeah, I'm pretty sure gatekeeping like addiction or suffering in general kind of wins those awards, but gatekeeping food is still the most frustrating thing. Like, dude, if you don't want your steak well done, don't get it well done. If someone wants their steak well done, I mean, that's the reason they offer steak well done, you know, because people order it because they like their steak well done. If you don't get this, you're not a true horror fan. Watch for children. Okay, literally, I wouldn't consider myself a true horror fan, and I know this movie. Also, this movie is really old, and I've forgotten. I know I watched it, but I've still forgotten everything because I have a great memory. But really, we're gonna gatekeep being a true horror fan if you haven't watched Children of the Corn. Okay then. Let me know, weird flex, but those are tiny tattoos. All those put together equal one medium-sized piece, lol. 5 tattoos at once, and I expected something badass. The disappointment that's the worst pain you've ever felt? Come at me after you have a baby, lol. It's actually really embarrassing how bitter you are. That's the worst pain you've ever felt? Man, I wish I was you. I have way bigger, more detailed tattoos in places most people say hurt and never flinched, and it didn't hurt me. You'd probably cry if you think the tiny line on your finger and hands hurt. Try straight bone, collarbone, ribs, hips, behind the ear, and do eyeliner. If you think those doodles hurt, I dare you to get a neck piece, lol. Do people know that people's bodies are different and that different people have different pain tolerances? This seems really weird, but generally, like, with people who have tattoos, it seems so common of, like, oh, you have fewer tattoos, or you have smaller tattoos, you're... What? Just let people enjoy the tattoos they want to get, and if it hurts them, it hurts. That's, like, literally fine. What? Anyways, I love when people talk about how much nostalgia retro consoles like SNES and NES brought them growing up, and these motherfuckers weren't even born until the year 2000. You weren't even a sperm cell in your dad's sack when I was playing Gyromite. Sit down. You can't really gatekeep what people get nostalgic for. If someone had something in their childhood that they love playing with, like a console or a game or whatever, you can't really say, oh, you're not allowed to be nostalgic for it. That just makes you look dumb. What are you doing? I'm not frustrated, you know? Not at all. I know I appreciate Kanye's music more than teenage white boys because I'm intimately aware of the intricacies of the Kardashian family drama, and so much of Kanye's lyrics is based on the Kardashian tea, which I can understand and fully appreciate, and mid-white boys cannot. Okay, gatekeeping music might be the second place of most frustrating things for me, because just enjoy or like listen to the music that you enjoy listening to. Like, no one's saying you can't love Kanye's music. Well, you're saying white boys can't love it as much as you can, apparently, but y'all honestly, it's like 30 degrees in my apartment right now. I am already suffering because of that, and now I'm suffering because of this. Why did I decide to do this to myself? Anyways, moving on. Oh, thank God, I'm almost done. You smoke at parties. I get high to do the dishes. We are not the same. Yeah, literally, most people are not the same. Like, you're gonna have a lot of similarities with a lot of people, but you're also gonna have, like, things that are different with those exact people, first of all. And second of all, kind of legit, I hate doing the dishes, so maybe getting high for them, or, like, getting high to do the dishes is actually a good idea, but what do you... Again, you do drugs differently than me, so I'm better somehow. Make it make sense. Okay, this is luckily the last post, and I'm really glad it's like a fun one, just because I'm able to make fun of it, because it's so dumb. I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is not acceptable for an adult. Listen, if you're an adult and you have mismatched socks, I guess you're not an adult anymore. Or apparently you're being an adult wrong. Why? This makes... Listen, who has the time? Listen, who gives a shit? If you don't want to bother to sort your socks and just like put two random socks together, honestly, who cares? Why do you... This seems like the dumbest thing just because it's so insignificant to be upset about. Like, how do you... Like, I already question why you care so much what other people do, but caring about other people wearing mismatched socks... Yeah, really couldn't be me. Anyways, I have lost enough brain cells for today. I hope you had fun. Kind of feel like if you had fun in this video, you kind of enjoy seeing me mad. Or you just get just as frustrated and you're just glad you're not frustrated alone. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a day. I need an iced drink. And I will see you in 3 days with a video that's quite probably going to be less frustrating for me. So anyways, see you then.